Hi, welcome back! In this tutorial, I'll show you how to crochet a beginner-friendly sleeved poncho with clear steps and tips for a clean finish. For this project, you will need 4 granny squares. Use wool or any other thick, soft yarn suitable for 5.5mm crochet hook. I start my pattern with a magic loop. And I chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. Then I place 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. This is a granny cluster, and then I chain 1. I repeat it 3 more times. I arrived at the end of this row, so I tighten up the magic ring and I join the row. I insert my hook into the third chain of the first double crochet, I slip stitch, single crochet, and I cut the yarn. Now I start working the row 2. Insert your hook into any first double crochet stitch of the granny cluster. Then I join the new yarn and I chain 3. I like to incorporate the yarn end into the stitching so I will have less weaving to do in the end. Then I place another double crochet into the same stitch. Next double crochet goes into the next stitch, and into this third stitch of the granny cluster I also place 2 double crochets. This is the first side of the granny square, and next I will work the corner. Next I will work a puffy stitch into this chain space. So I grab the yarn, I pull it, and I leave it on a hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I grab the yarn again and I pull it through all of these loops and then again through these 2 other loops as well. Chain 1, 2, 3, and again another puffy stitch. I grab the yarn, I pull it, second time, third time, and the 4th time, and now I grab the yarn and I pull through all these loops and through the other 2 as well. This is my corner, and I will work all the corners this same way. So now I'm about to work the next side. I need to find this first stitch of the granny cluster, and since this is the spot where I joined the row, I will try to insert my hook exactly into this same third chain, and this will be my first stitch, my first double crochet. Then I place another double crochet into the same stitch. Then I will place another double crochet into the middle stitch of this granny stitch, and I will place 2 double crochets into another one. So in total I have 5 double crochets on the second side, the same, and now I'm working the corner. So I did the puffy stitch, now I chain 3 and another puff with 4 times pulling the yarn. Then I grab the yarn, pull through all of them and pull through the other 2 as well. I repeat it 2 more times for the third side, corner, 4th side, and another corner. I arrived at the end of this row, and now I'm about to join this row in the same way I did before. I insert my hook into the third chain of this first double crochet, then I slip stitch, chain 1, pull the yarn and cut it. If it feels like it's a bit wavy, it will pass. So the more rows you will add, the better it will look. Now I'm working row 3. So let's find the starting point. I will have 6 double crochets for each side in total. So this is where I insert my hook. So not into the puffy stitch, but into a double crochet stitch. I chain 3 And this time I do not increase at this side of the granny side. I double crochet into the next stitch, so I have 2. I double crochet into the first stitch, then I double crochet 4th, 5th stitch, and the 6th, and it goes right into this puffy stitch this time. So we need to create a symmetric increase, and I figured that this is the best way to do that. Then I work the corners, so I place puffy stitch, chain 3, another puffy stitch. And next I will work the side again. So this is the side where I joined my previous row, so I need to find the starting point, and that's gonna be right where I joined the row. So I make 1 double crochet, then I like to take all the loose ends into the stitching, so I will not need to do a lot of weaving the ends in the end. So in total for this side I will also have 6 double crochets. And the 6th is this last puffy stitch, so make sure that your rows are symmetrical. Another corner, and I will repeat the same till the end of the row. Pardon me interruption, my kitty is really interested in my crochet projects. Now I'm joining this row, so I insert my hook into the third chain of this first double crochet, I slip stitch, I chain 1, cut the yarn, pull it, and tighten it up. Row 3 is now finished. In the row 4, like in any other following row, I will do increases in the beginning and in the end of the side. So I find my first double crochet and I insert my hook into this stitch. I grab both front and back loop and I chain 3. Next I will double crochet into this same stitch. Then I keep placing double crochets in every stitch of this side. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets, and I will place 2 double crochets in this last stitch, in the puffy stitch. So 8 and 9 into the same stitch. So this way my increase is symmetrical. You can see this diagonal on the left and on the right. If I increase this way, my corners will stay straight and they will not swirl. Next I'm working the corner stitches as I did that before. Then for the side I find again that double crochet stitch and I place 2 double crochets into this first stitch. Next I work double crochets into every single stitch. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, and here goes the last one with 2 double crochets. 8 and 9 also in the same stitch. Next, work the corner and continue doing the same count of double crochets on the sides, then join the row. As you see, I always work under supervision. If you like this pattern and you would like to continue crocheting just these double crochet rows, then you will repeat this row 4 all over again, and you will increase 3 stitches for every side in every following row. So in this row I have 9 double crochets for the side, in the next I will have 12, then I will have 15, 18, and so on. So now I'm about to start the row 5. I joined a new yarn and I chained 3. So I will place another double crochet into the same stitch. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and last stitch 11, and into the same space 12. So I have 12 double crochets in the next row, and as I just mentioned, the difference will be 3 stitches. Then I will do the corner and I will do the same increases for each side. Then I will join the row. Row 5 is now finished and I will continue working the row 6 in the same way. I will increase in the beginning of the side and in the end, and the count for the stitches will be 15. I finished row 6 and this is how it looks like. If you like it like that, just continue your increases in every following row, but I decided to add 2 rows of granny stitches. Find the first double crochet off the side, then add the new yarn, chain 3, and place 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. Next, skip 2 and place another granny stitch into the 3rd stitch. Again, skip 2, place granny stitch into the next one. Repeat it till the end of the row. If you counted everything correctly, then this is the stitch where you will place your last granny stitch. And I have 6 granny stitches in total for each side of this row. Then I do the corner as usual. Nothing changes for the corner stitches at all, only for the sides. So a puffy stitch, chain 3, another puffy stitch. Next I need to find this double crochet stitch again. It's a bit tricky, but you get used to it after a couple of rows. And I place a granny stitch into this first double crochet stitch of the previous row. Next I skip 2 stitches again and I place granny stitch into the next one. I will repeat it till the end of this side until I have 6 granny stitches. Then I will crochet the corner. Then I will repeat the same for the other 2 sides, and then I will join the row. Here it comes. I join the row in the same way, so I look for this third chain of the first double crochet, I slip stitch, chain, cut the yarn, and then I pull and tighten it up. I will add another row of granny stitches. So I place my hook right between the puffy stitch and the first granny cluster. I introduce new yarn, I chain 3, and then I crochet 2 double crochets into the same space, forming a first granny cluster of this row. Then I do not chain, I just continue straight with the double crochets into the next space. And this is the last granny stitch I'm about to complete. It also goes right between the granny cluster and the puffy stitch. And in total I have 7 granny stitches for this side. Next I perform corner and I repeat it for every following side. For the next rows I will crochet only double crochets again, not granny stitches, just a double crochet stitches in every stitch. As usually I start in the first stitch of the previous row, so in my case it is the first double crochet of the granny cluster, then I join the new yarn and I chain 3. Then I will place a double crochet into this same stitch again, so I have an increase in the beginning of the row, and then I will place double crochet stitches into every stitch of the previous row and continue doing this. I will meet you at the end of this side. I arrived at the end of the row and I'm about to place 2 last double crochets into this puffy stitch. So in total I will have 24 double crochets for this side. After I finished that, I will add another row of double crochets and after that one more row of granny stitches using exactly same increases. And here they are, 4 granny squares we need for the poncho. This is how the layout will look like. This square goes to the back, the next square is here for the sleeve, so for the shoulder, another one for the other shoulder, and this is the front or the back, whatever, they are the same. At this point I recommend you to clip it together and try it on. If this size is enough for you, you can just go ahead and stitch it together, but I'm adding another row of granny stitches. I'm wearing sizes S through L and my granny square measures 14.5 inches. In the next steps, I will start adding the granny stitch row to the next granny square, but also at the same time I will join these 2 squares together, and this is how I do that. I arrived at the corner and I place 1 puffy stitch, then I chain 1. Next I find this corner chain space of the other granny square, I insert my hook and I slip stitch so that I join these 2 squares together. Now they are connected. Next I place another puffy stitch into the corner of the granny square I'm working on. I complete this stitch and then I again need to connect it to the other square. This is how I do that. So for this one, I need to connect it with a space between the puffy stitch and the granny square. Here it goes. Nicely connected. Next, I crochet a granny cluster for the square I'm working on. Then I find space between granny clusters of the other granny square. I insert my hook there, I slip stitch, and then I continue doing my granny stitches at the same time connecting the two squares together. I arrived at the corner again, so I'm making one puffy stitch, I chain one, then again I find this chain space of the corner, chain one, and then I add the second puffy stitch to the corner of the square I'm working on. Next, I will finish this row as usual. Align your stitches. If it still feels a bit uneven, it will all be balanced later. Add the other granny square in the same way. I have a more detailed explanation about the connection in my previous poncho video. Please check the link in the description or just go and check it out on my channel. For now, I connected these 3 granny squares and I'm about to add the fourth, the last one, and the last one is a bit different because I need to connect 2 sides in order to form the neckline. I've already completed one side with this last granny stitch row, and now I'm about to connect these 2 sides first. And at this point it gets a bit tricky as I have 3 corners coming all together. In order to connect it neatly, I need to find the right spot to insert my hook. And it goes not into this bigger spot, but into this tiny spot. So I insert my hook, I slip stitch, then I chain one, and then I complete the second puffy stitch of the corner. The rest is all the same. You just finish this side connecting 2 granny squares together. If you are a very beginner and it looks too complicated for you to do, then no need to connect the granny squares in this way. You can just add this last row of granny stitches to all the squares first and then just sew them together. But I really like doing it that way because in my opinion it complements this granny stitch pattern. So now just finish this side, finish another side and connect the last side to the first granny square. As you see, I arrived at this granny square corner junction and I just want to show you once again how I connect these corners. So a puffy stitch, chain one, and then I need to insert my hook into this tiny hole, not in a big, in a tiny one, slip stitch, chain one, and then I do another puffy stitch, and next I will just go ahead and join the row, all the same. At this point I do not cut the thread because I want to add a row of double crochets right away. Right now the front of the poncho from the neckline down measures 20 inches. And if that's still too short, you can keep adding additional granny stitches rows. Now I want to show you how to add ribbon to the neckline. My yarn is still attached and I chain 2. And next I will proceed with double crochets into every stitch. Repeat these double crochets for the entire row, and I will also show you how to go around the V-neck. I arrived at this spot where I have this V neckline, and I will show you how to make a decrease. So my last double crochet here. Next I have these 3 chain spaces of connecting corners. Next I place 3 double crochets together. And then I proceed with double crochets in every stitch. This is how it looks like. And then I will keep crocheting double crochets in every stitch. And as usual, I like to take all the yarn ends into the stitching, so I will have to deal with less weaving in the end. I'm at the end of this row and I introduce a new yarn color. Then I will proceed with the ribbon stitch. I have a more detailed explanation on how to do the ribbing of the neckline in my previous poncho video. Please check it out. So I chain 2 and now I do a front post double crochet. Next I will do a back post double crochet, and then I will alternate them to create the ribbon pattern. Repeat this row until you reach the desired length of your caul. One more detail about how to go around the V-neck. I do a front post double crochet around these 3 double crochets together, and if I still have 2 double crochets left, then I will just grab them both to finish the row cleanly, so that I alternate front and back post. Continue in the same color or alternate colors, it's all up to you. Place a front post double crochet where you had it in the previous row, and the same goes for the back post double crochet. Before I continue with the sleeves of this poncho, I will add another row of granny stitches to the bottom of it. Start somewhere at the back side. I insert my hook between 2 granny clusters and I attach a new yarn. I chain 3 and place 2 more double crochets into the same space. Then I continue that again, and I will also show you how to go around this granny square connection. I will place a granny stitch not between the puffy stitch and the granny cluster, but directly into this corner chain space. And the next granny stitch goes into the next corner chain space. The following granny stitch goes also in the space between 2 granny clusters. Continue adding these granny stitches and go around the corners in the same way as before. As I mentioned before, you can keep adding 1 or 2 more rows to the bottom of your poncho. Next, I need to find these corner chain spaces, and this is exactly the spot where I will join in this granny square in order to form my sleeve. It measures about 7.5 inches in fold. Find the space between two granny squares on each of those sides. Place them on top of each other, align them, and then this is exactly the spot where you will insert your hook, but not into the chain spaces, but rather into the stitches through the front and back loop. Insert the hook, introduce the new yarn, and chain 3. Next, place a double crochet into the same stitch and continue placing double crochets in each stitch. This is the initial row of the ribbing. I arrived at the end of the row, and now I will place another double crochet into the same first stitch. I'm joining the row now, and it's the best for the ribbon to have an even number of the double crochets. At this point I want to introduce a new yarn, so I do that, and then I chain 2, and next I will start the ribbon pattern. So I will do a front pass double crochet, then the back pass double crochet, and I will alternate these double crochets till the end of the row. Once you finish your sleeves, you can go around the bottom of the poncho in granny stitch again. I am very happy with the final result, and I hope this tutorial inspired you. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like, subscribe, and crochet along with me.